This is German soft bread, bought 2 weeks ago. And now, mold. And this? American soft bread, 10 weeks old. Looks still fresh, right? No mold, no life. If even mold won't eat it, should you? Many US foods contain preservatives banned or restricted in the European Union. Longer shelf life, but at what costs? Real food goes bad. Choose natural, choose wisely.
This is American soda, and this is European soda. American soda has red 40 and yellow 6, petroleum-based dyes that are literally forbidden in Europe because they are linked to hyperactivity and organ stress. This is American bread, and this is European bread. American bread has azodicarbonamide, a chemical used to make yoga mats and shoe soles. It is forbidden in Europe because it's a respiratory irritant that your body was never designed to digest. You are essentially eating plastic foaming agents just to make your loaf fluffy. This is American cereal, and this is European cereal. American cereal is packed with BHT, a preservative used in jet fuel to keep it from spoiling. It is restricted in Europe because it is a known endocrine disruptor that messes with your hormones. You are feeding your children industrial stabilizers before they even get to school. Most Americans are eating a mountain of these forbidden chemicals every single day, and they don't even realize why they feel genuinely sick. You wonder why your skin is constantly irritated, why you have that heavy brain fog, or why you feel always bloated no matter what you eat. It is because these synthetic dyes and chemicals don't just stay in your stomach. They spread into your blood and travel to every single corner of your body. When your system is literally suffocating under a mountain of industrial waste that other countries won't even allow in their food, you have to flush out that fire and scrub the blood clean. We use milk thistle to act as a shield for your cells so they can finally repair. We add mustard seed for the organic sulfur your body needs to produce NAC. Think of this as a master detergent that finds those forbidden chemical particles and flushes them out of your veins. Finally, we use sulforaphane to activate a deep cleanse, grabbing those toxins and carrying them out for good. Buying all of these high-grade ingredients separately would cost you over $200. That is why I recommend Modern Antidote. It takes this exact farm wisdom and puts everything you need into one simple glass jar for a fraction of the cost. It's how you give your body a clean slate. Because they focus on purity and small batches, they sell out quickly. You can find it on Amazon, but I've also linked the antidote in my profile so you can get your jar before they're gone. If you want my full morning detox recipe to help clear those toxins, comment a recipe and I will send it over.
Over the last 40 years, the United States has been exposed to something that our biology was never intended to handle. Energy-dense, highly palatable, rapidly absorbable, ultra-processed foods that have altered our metabolism and have resulted in the greatest increase in chronic disease in our history. Type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, hypertension, abnormal lipids, fatty liver, heart attacks, stroke, heart failure.
From our food.
From our food.
Our food is not real food. Let me explain. It's not real food. Look at this bread, y'all. I literally brought that like August 20th for my son's birthday. We had a cookout, brought the bread in, like, you know, you bring the stuff in, basically threw it up top, and right now I'm cleaning out the kitchen, and I see this bread. Why is it not molded? It's not hard. This shit is not real.
Does anybody know what's happened to Breyer's ice cream? That it's no longer ice cream? My husband and I were just trying to figure out why this Breyer's ice cream that was buy one, get one tastes so terrible. And as we were looking at the packaging, we realized that nowhere on here does this say ice cream. Now, I was trying to be moderately healthy. I mean, obviously moderately healthy in quotes, when I chose the ingredients here, because it starts with like milk and sugar and cream, and okay, then it gets a little dicey, but it's like there for a while. It's perfect. But nowhere on here, in fact, it says frozen dairy dessert, but nowhere on Breyer's, the Breyer's. I mean, this was like the ice cream of my childhood, and the premium.
This was the ice cream of the bourgeoisie.
All right, let's not make this socioeconomic here. All right, Breyer's ice cream. It's not even ice cream anymore.
It was this in Grey Poupon back in the 90s.
It was like the texture. Hold on, get a spoon, hon. The texture, I know, but that one's the cookie dough spoon. First of all, what is the texture? The vanilla is strange, and the cookie dough chunks are even stranger. Why are you eating it?
It's so bad.
But like the texture of the vanilla, it tastes metallic-y, but it also tastes like it's forming like a film inside my mouth, where there's like a film all around my mouth and on my tongue.
All right.
It is. It's like really gross, and it's not. It's clearly not ice cream. Look, there's one of the Trader bits of, like, look at that. At 2, Brutus.
Ugh.
But like, look at not a single stitch of. They've really made it look a lot like ice cream, and they've tried to make it look like it's so fancy and Rainforest Alliance certified, 100% grade A milk and cream. Oh, it's got the little leaf, so you think that it's real, but it's like
Grade A nonsense.
What am I actually eating here? Because it sure is not ice cream.
Have y'all been noticing the rise of autism in children? In America, in the United States in particular, it's the food. The food is poisoning us. All these GMOs they got in foods. Listen, people, y'all gonna have to go back to having gardens. I grew up having a garden. I had a garden with my children. You're gonna have to grow your own food because the food is killing us. And it's not only killing us while we here, it got us mentally unstable. So it's the
So you ever pick up something at the store, you read the label and still not really understand what you are eating? Like, you know, everything looks normal, but something about it just feels off. And the more people start paying attention, the more questions come up. Not even extreme questions, just simple ones. What exactly is this? And there has been a growing conversation in America around food quality, and not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, everyday kind of way. People are noticing labels that sound unfamiliar, products that don't behave like real food used to, and ingredients that are very hard to recognize. And it's creating this feeling of uncertainty. Not panic, just curiosity mixed with concern. So guys, let's subscribe and continue watching these videos and find out what exactly is going on, and then I'll be back with more commentary. Full credits to the original creators of these videos. Thank you.
We can't have anything in this fucking country. We can't have one thing. There's weevils in the fucking pasta. There's caramel color in the fucking Starbucks drinks. There's carcinogens in all the Kellogg cereals. We can't have nothing. And y'all wondered why half of us don't bother eating but one meal a day. Because everything America's feeding us is killing us. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Chobani causes cancer, like the gut healthy yogurt Chobani. They cause cancer. Allegedly, Chobani's being sued because they've been putting harmful amounts of chemicals into their yogurt and then not telling their customers about it. Chemicals like phthalates. So phthalates like the microplastic? Yeah, those ones. When I googled what phthalates can do to the body, it said that phthalates can cause things like liver disease, kidney disease, and potentially cancer. Insane. Basically, Chobani's not being sued for causing cancer. They're being sued for misinformation because they have been marketing their yogurt as the most gut healthy on the market, when in reality it's not. I found this out on the ClaimMoney.com website. The URL's right here. Basically, it took me less than 2 minutes to apply so that I can get notified when the lawsuit comes out, because it's still upcoming. So if you or somebody you know eats Chobani, make sure you stop doing that.
A PSA from your chronically online friend. There are mass reports for the last month of people claiming that their food is not right in America, that their meat is mush, that it seems lab grown, and there are countless videos of people saying, are you just hungry but nothing's hitting anymore? Are you not hungry because food is just causing you to be sick now? There's a serious fucking problem right now.
I'm doing groceries right now, and I noticed that 90% of the store is trash. I mean, no single lane goes unnoticed. All this, trash, just sugar. Everything in the frozen section, trash, more trash. Your worst enemy, processed meats. I mean, this is just the worst thing that you can find in the store. All these sauces that you use for your pasta, besides that it tastes horrible, it's just trash. And then you walk into this lane, I mean, there's no one single thing that you can eat from this. Like, 100% of this is just trash. I mean, chips, the worst thing that you can get to gain weight. Popcorn. I mean, there's nothing good. I mean, oh, this is my weakness though, I gotta admit it. Sugar. But it's trash as well.
I just wanted to share something I can't stop thinking about, and that would be that not only is our food extremely overpriced, it's poison. It is literal poison. And you might say, oh, it's your algorithm. Well, I want to sue everyone.
Late to see how long it would take for it to melt. 12 minutes on the counter in a normal home, and it doesn't really look like it melts. I gave it more time, and after about 23 minutes, this is what it looked like. You guys, the next day, 15 hours later, this is what the ice cream sandwich looks like.
Is this what fake cheese does? It doesn't melt, it just kind of balloons like it's finna burst or some shit?
Okay, what is up with food in America? Because look at this jelly. It's like goop. Usually, when I remember being a kid growing up, the jelly would be like a thicker consistency.
I was cutting my beef, right? And for some reason, I just thought about putting a fucking magnet on there.
I was just eating my chips when I felt something big.
Welcome back, guys. So one of the first things people point out is how some products aren't even labeled the way you'd expect. Let's say, for example, instead of ice cream, you might see something called frozen dairy dessert. And that small change in wording matters. You know why? Because it usually means different ingredients, more processing, sometimes less actual dairy, and it makes people pause and think, wait, what am I actually buying? Then there are things people notice over time, like how certain fruits behave. You'll hear people say bananas that don't ripen the same way, produce that lasts unusually long, or food that looks perfect but tastes different. Now, some of this comes down to modern farming, storage, and transport, but to the average person, it just feels unfamiliar. And unfamiliar food creates doubt. There's another big shift, the introduction of new types of food production. Things like lab-grown or cell-cultivated meat, bioengineered ingredients, synthetic additives designed to mimic natural ones. And while these innovations are often presented as solutions, they also raise questions. Because for many people, this is completely new territory. So when they see labels like bioengineered or cell-based, they don't always know what that means for them. People actually prefer organic food for their health, for their own good. Then there is the way food is handled before it even reaches stores. For example, in large-scale production, poultry is sometimes cleaned using chemical treatments to control bacteria. Now, this is a standard industry practice in some places, but not in others. And when people learn about processes like that, it changes how they see everyday food. Even something as simple as a ready-made chicken starts to feel less simple. Now, this actually leads to one of the biggest concerns, transparency, because even when labels are present, they are not always easy to understand. You might see long ingredient lists, unfamiliar terms, labels like bioengineered without much explanation. So people are left trying to figure things out on their own. And that uncertainty builds over time, and this is exactly what we are seeing right now. What's actually interesting is how people are reacting to all this. Some are starting to read labels more carefully. They buy less processed food, they shop at local markets, or even they try growing small amounts of food themselves. Not because they have all the answers, but because they want more control over what they eat. Now, to be fair, modern food systems also make food more available and affordable for millions of people. So it's not a negative. It's not all negative. But at the same time, people are starting to ask more questions about quality and transparency. Why some ingredients used in American food are banned elsewhere, and that conversation is growing. At the end of the day, this is not really about fear. It's about awareness, because food is something people interact with every single day. And when something that basic starts to feel uncertain, people are naturally going to pay attention. So guys, if you've watched this far, I'm curious what you think. Do you feel like food quality has actually changed? Or do you think people are just becoming more aware? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Go through them and we'll get the conversation going. And if you like conversations like this, real, balanced and thought-provoking, make sure you subscribe, because there's a lot more coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.